Hello, good and faithful people of the Church of the Mediator. It's Father Dale. I hope you're well whenever and wherever it is that you hear this message this week. I wish you greetings as I make a string of videos over the next couple days that will be preloaded so that they are ready to go for happenings each week while I'm away on vacation during the month of July. And I think I'm actually going to do a series for those videos. This one is not part of that series because I've got a bunch of things today to talk to you about, but I believe I'm going to do a series on the history, little blips, I should say. They're short videos, so they don't have a lot of content, but a series on some important historical periods in the Episcopal Church centered around some important historical figures related to Pennsylvania. I think that's what my series is going to be. We'll see if I can actually pull it off over 5 or 6 videos time or not. But keep watching. That's the point of saying that. Are you thankful for food? So my first announcement is to show you and remind you that Erlaine Klingler has put our colored sheets of paper in the pews as she does each summer for Thanksgiving in July. This is a way to participate in our mission as a parish, our outreach for Grace Food Pantry. And a reminder, of course, there's a list here of various different items that are useful, but I particularly like to always highlight the importance of paper, baby products, and cleaning supplies. Toilet paper, paper towel, napkins, diapers, baby wipes, toiletries, dish detergent, household cleaners, hygiene supplies. As this sheet says, these are items that are not covered by food stamps and as a result are always in need at the food pantry. So you think of food for the food pantry, but actually there are other things as well that people who are experiencing food insecurity, and particularly if they have families and particularly if they have babies, you know that diapers and things like that are extremely expensive. So if you are willing to get a few items, I would love to hear when I come back in August that Thanksgiving in July this year was once again exceedingly successful and that we were able to bless a lot of people with our generosity as a parish. Second thing that I want to mention to you today, get ready, buckle your seatbelts, my friends. I've got lots of things for you today. Is actually something that I'm really excited about in an odd kind of way, and that is that we know, you may know very well, that the landscape of funding a parish like ours is changing rapidly. And I have been aware of this for about the past decade being a priest, and realized how much we need to conceptualize of a framework, a wide variety of ways of inviting people to participate in funding the mission and ministry of a place like ours. And I've been excited because I've been hopeful that our 1 p.m. Spanish-speaking congregation might take the lead and help us imagine new ways of inviting others into funding this parish. Of course, because parishes like this have long survived on, one, the annual pledge campaign, which is still very strong here at the Church of the Mediator, but is all about those who are actually parishioners. And of course, on our investments, our endowments, those monies that have been given and squirreled away in the market in order to be able to continue to fund a parish like ours. You know, that's a relatively new thing, of course. Mediators' endowments were set up in the 1980s, and the idea of a pledge campaign was started in the Episcopal Church in the early 20th century. Before that, if you know any good Episcopal Church history, most parishes were funded by pew rents. You actually had to rent your seat in the church, and actually the further forward that you were in the nave, the more expensive the pew. Nowadays, everybody wants to sit at the back of the space and not be seen on the live stream, but actually it used to be that because you didn't have a sound system, it was much more expensive to have the pew up front and to be seen by everybody as the one who was giving that much money in your pew rent. And for the wealthy, that meant sitting all the way up at the first pews and second pews. And That, of course, went out of fashion as the Episcopal Church tried to make itself more open to those who could not afford to rent pews. As the Episcopal Church, especially among the Anglo-Catholic movement in inner cities, started to have free churches where you didn't have to rent your pew or your spot in a pew. But that also meant having to find other ways of funding parishes. Well, my friends, we are going to try something new. And isn't that the name of the game in the 21st century as church, my friends? We adapt, we vision, we discern, we try, we just keep on keeping on and believing that God is blessing us. So our 1 p.m. crew is setting up some fundraisers for us. I am excited about this. I think this is a really good thing. This first one is a raffle. Each envelope, there will be envelopes around. I hope that each of you will take an envelope. Each envelope has 15 tickets in it, and the tickets are double. So you sell a ticket, $10 a ticket, and you give the recipient 1 ticket, and they need to fill out the back of their ticket with their name, their address, and their phone number so we can be in contact when we make the drawing in August when I'm back. And then the grand prize is a 55-inch flat screen TV that one of our 1 p.m. parishioners has donated, brand new. The second prize is either a choice of dinner with me, I mean, come on, that is worthy of $10, or a gift card for a dinner at a place of your choice if you don't want my company, which is totally understandable. And then third, there will be a few third places, which is a bottle of wine and some chocolate. We are hoping that each parishioner will take this seriously. And if we do, there's the possibility of raising a few $1,000s, which is really a pretty low stakes thing to do. And we hope that each parishioner might sell 5 tickets, maybe even 10 tickets, maybe even 15 tickets. That's $150. That's great. So please pick up your thing. There will be a flyer with it so that you can explain the raffle with a nice flyer that's got a picture of the TV and stuff. Please take this seriously and help us do that. Third, I dropped tickets on the floor. Third, I'm talking all about money, and this is not the core of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Third is you will be receiving a letter in the mail. That mailing is just being folded and stuffed as I speak, and there will be envelopes in the pews as well. The vestry and I have discerned the need to make a little extra push this summer, July, August, September, and October, to raise funds to offset withdrawals that we've had to make from our investment portfolio, from our diocesan investment trust. That's our stock market holdings and our bonds. That we have had to take money out of those funds in order to pay for capital expenses to this building and these grounds. One of our joyful responsibilities, right, is keeping up this place, making it beautiful, keeping it up to date, and making sure that things get fixed when they break. Things like, for example, the toilets have never seen as much use as what they're getting right now, and they have been clogging up. So you'll have noticed that up here in the upstairs bathrooms, I almost was going to make this video in the bathroom today, and then I thought that might be in bad taste. But up here in the upstairs bathroom, both in the women's bathroom and in the men's bathroom, there are new toilets, high power toilets to flush. And those are helpful to us, as well as we had to have the whole urinal rebuilt, and we had to have the pipes snaked. And you think, oh, that's a $500 expense. Not anymore, my friends. That is over $3,000 expense these days. So there's been a string of those things, including that we're getting ready. We've been in the midst of trying to get our leaky steeple repaired, which has been a years-long problem. This is all to say, my friends, the vestry and I have discerned the need to once again say, oh gosh, we are so glad and we're so joyful to be able to steward this building, to keep it up for the next generations to come. We're going to be at this corner of West and West Turner for another 100 years. We're going to keep this place up and hand it on in as good a fashion as we can when that time comes. And to ask you again to give generously. We are trying to raise $20,000 over the next few months to offset these needs. So I am inviting you into that. I am saying with God's help, we can do this together, and we will keep on keeping on. And I am grateful to you for your generosity, your sacrificial generosity that you give with a joyful heart, and that we're all in this together. That is my business, other than to say that we are on for our usual schedule this Sunday morning at 9 a.m. in English and 1 p.m. in Spanish. Finally, my friends, the theological content of my video, and I'm 10 and a half minutes in, which is a long video for a weekly video, but hang in there. Just want to mention to you, my friends, that this year, 2025, is the 1700th anniversary of the Nicene Creed. And there are celebrations and workshops going on around the world and to mark this occasion, 1700 years since 325, when the Nicene Creed was begun. It came in stages, but the initial block of the Nicene Creed, as we still recite it, is 1700 years old. Awesome heritage that we have, and an important reminder of the faith of the Church Universal, that it has been guarded across the years and that we continue to cling to as our tent peg, the thing that holds us firm in what we know that the church believes and that the church teaches, and that those are the essentials, what we say in the creed, the belief in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the belief in Jesus Christ as the incarnate Son of God, that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are co-eternal and co-equal God, the belief in one baptism, the belief in the resurrection of the dead, all of that all things have been created by God. Those are the essentials. Those are the essentials, and those are the things that even when it's one of us individually might struggle to believe, we know that the church holds in belief and in faith for us. Thanks be to God for the Nicene Creed, 1700 years old. Thanks be to God for this parish and for our continued mission and ministry, and for these bricks and mortar and that beautiful lawn that we have out front that continue to cost a lot of money and yet also are such a gift, not only to the people, those of us who come in this building on a Sunday or throughout the week to worship or to work, but also to our refugees and our asylees and our staff, and also to our neighborhood. We are a presence of God's goodness here, and it's because of these bricks and mortar that we are in this place. So thanks be to God for Mediator as well. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Until then, blessings.